2021 had a lot of exciting new releases from the indie game scene. Everhood, an existential game about the meaning of life hampered by some terrible writing, Chicory, which is just really cute, and Eastward, which is a beautiful look at a dying world, which I wish was a bit more poignant than it ended up being. However, what easily dominated most people's minds that year was Deltarune Chapter 2, which came out of nowhere in September. It hit like a truck and became an object of online culture quickly with tons of discussion and, of course, memes being based around it. No matter how many good indies were from that year, Deltarune reigned supreme just as it did back when the first chapter released in 2018. Among these memes, there's one character who stood out in terms of popularity, Spamton G. Spamton. He's plastered all over the internet, and though he's sort of fallen out of popularity at this point, he's easily the longest lasting aspect of the game. He's sort of the game's mascot. I mean, just look up Deltarune Chapter 2 and you'll be able to see what I mean. The entire alternate route probably wouldn't be nearly as spoiled if it didn't have some extra gags involving him. He's incredibly ubiquitous. However, one community seems to like him even more than the others, the queer community. Spamton kitties abound within transmasculine circles, and it's something that I've been fascinated by ever since the game's release. Why is this the case? What makes Spamton so special? Is it just due to the humor, or is there something more here? So I decided to take a look at his story in the game and find out just why he's so popular. After all, there must be some reason why he resonates so deeply with queer audiences. Spamton's character is pretty simple. He exists as a parody of those who fall for capitalism, the ultimate scam. He's a literal puppet to profit motive, having sold his soul out to become a spam bot in pursuit of fame and fortune, despite it doing him no good in the end because he was never truly able to cash out and get away with it since nobody bought into his scheme. He's been used up, and now that he's no longer valuable to the systems that he so desperately wished to win the favor of, he's been cast aside into a literal dumpster. When he meets the characters, he's completely destitute, yet still hungering for more and more infinite growth and power. The ultimate fate of all of those who spend their days worshipping capital. However, I think that the reason queer people relate to the character is not due to this capitalist commentary, even if that was the intended angle that Toby Fox wanted us to read him under. Though most queer people are anti-capitalist due to the fact that systems of capital inherently other and oppress those outside the status quo in order to maximize profits, there's something more here. And, I mean, there absolutely is. Spamton's character could work as sort of a parable for the struggles of being transgender, which is a much more direct link to the people who relate to him so much. Spamton's entire story is about finding a body he desires to be in, one that will allow him to feel like himself. As a transgender person, and also someone who's friends with many transgender people, feeling at home in our bodies is a constant struggle. Many of us don't feel like how we should in our bodies, and Spamton deals with the same thing. It's all he ever talks about wanting, that is, to find a new home for his mind. His quest to find a new body, a marionette that looks the way he wishes to, is his entire motivation. So I think that it's due to this connection that Spamton ends up being so resonant with trans people. He's a funny, charming character who wants to feel at home with himself, which is such a relatable experience for so many of us. I'm trying to get the body I want, and I'm constantly terrified I won't be able to. Spamton wasn't really able to either in the end. The body he obtained failed on him. This fear is a nearly universal experience for all trans people, the desire for a body that we'll be able to identify with and see ourselves in. And sure, it's also an allegory for the endless growth of capital, the constant desire for more, but can't a thing represent more than one thing? There's no one right answer to a story, only several different interweaving ideas. This has been Arcade Everlasting, who's the world's
Operated 2002.
YouTube essayist signing off. Thank you for watching.